started.
Nope, it's Tim. Yeah. Tim, can you hear us?
Yep.
Tim,
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Timothy.
Thank you for attending virtually, even though everybody in your house is not of the
Yeah, well, you know,
healthy condition.
oh,
We appreciate it.
all's good. All's good.
We'll need a microphone for John when he joins too.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Tim, thanks. I ended up being able to attend, so
Phew.
so those are-
Be ready.
All right, so good evening, everybody. We have 3 members at least. I'm going to sit Tim as a full member along with Jeff and is that Susan saying she can't hear us? Oh. So digital recordings on. All right. So welcome to the July 1st. Can't believe it's July 1st Historic District Commission meeting. Welcome. I'm going to waive the hearing procedures, but if you'd like to read them, they're on the yellow sheet over there. I would now love for our clerk to read the public notice.
The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 1st, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. The first one is HDC 250046, 292 High Street, Eric Wood, applicant, owner, shed, PIN 2619143233620. The second one is HDC 250048, 49 Pearl Street, Josh Armstrong, applicant, owner, chimney, PIN 26194422726. Third one is HDC 250049, 51 Pearl Street, Jeff Hastings, applicant, Judith Bogue, owner, Windows, PIN 26194422846. And the fourth is HTC 250050, 15 Pearl Street, Jeff Giles, applicant, St. Mark's Church, mini splits, PIN 261918318460E. The Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website, meetings calendar. Applicants are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the planning department. 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 24th June 2025 at Groton, Connecticut.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's get right back into the hearings, and we'll start with public hearing HDC 25-0046, 292 High Street, Eric Wood, applicant, owner, shed.
Hi, evening.
Oh yes. Good. Welcome back.
Evening.
So proposing to build a 12 by 16 shed in the back corner of our lot. It'll sit on top of a 14 by 18 foot gravel pad,
Tim.
surrounded by 4x4 pressure treated timbers, and there'll be 3/4 inch crushed gravel. And the shed will look largely like what you see here on the first page, except for the back door. I'm not going to put in, and instead I'm going to put in another window. And the color will not be blue. It'll match our house, which is a light green.
Excuse me, sir, can I just interrupt you
You
for
bet.
1 second? Can you state your name and address for the record, as the person
Yeah.
presenting the application? And then turn the paper 180 degrees,
Yep,
so it presents.
gotcha. Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Tim.
Eric Wood, 292 High Street,
Awesome.
proposing a 12 by 16 shed. So that's some dimensions there. The next page has some further dimensions of what it looks like. The following page has the materials list. It will be sided with T111 plywood. And like I said, 2 windows. This is sort of the view from High Street looking east, the house, and you can sort of see the back corner of the lot where we're proposing to put the shed. And this is sort of a more detailed and farther in look of where we're supposed to put it. Here, which is in next to our neighbor's sort of pinkish, peachish color, 2-door garage or 2-car garage there, and really blocking this sort of cottage, which is in progress or has been in progress since we moved in. It's sometimes worked on and sometimes not. And then we have some arborvitae across the back, which will hopefully sort of mask that as well. That's sort of the location. And then this is the plot plan. And again, here's the house, here's that back corner, and that's where we're, sorry, yes, and that's what we're looking to put in.
And the double doors will face the street.
Double doors facing the street, correct? And I just, as I said, I think the last meeting, that back door didn't make a lot of sense, so I'm just gonna put it on.
Timothy, any questions from you?
I don't. This is pretty much the same as it was from the prior presentation. I don't have any issues. It looks great.
Same. All right.
You good?
Good.
You good?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Does anybody in the audience want to speak for the presentation or application? Does anyone in the audience want to speak against the application? All right, HDC 25-0046 is closed. We'll now go to HDC 25-0048, 49 Pearl Street. Josh Armstrong applicant. Josh here?
Is that you, sir?
No?
okay.
Okay. All right, then we'll skip that one, see if they show up a little. Okay. And we'll go HDC 25-0049, 51 Pearl Street, Jeff Hastings applicant. Judith Bogue.
Hello.
Owner. All right.
All right, Jeff Hastings, 51 Pearl Street. We're looking to replace our current windows with Anderson 400 series SDL windows. And the sheet here lists every one of them with all the specs on it, and I'm not even gonna attempt to, I can give it to you.
Yep.
Apologize for the iced tea stain on it. We're replacing all the windows, identical, they're all 6/6. The only difference is, if you remember, that there's a smaller window in the front of the house that's currently 4/4. Maybe we're gonna make that 6/6 to match the rest of them. And I believe a couple sizes in the bedrooms upstairs are gonna change because the current windows don't meet the egress code, so I think they have to extend up a couple inches or something like that. They're all gonna be standard.
Okay. That I don't see in here.
I see
Well,
there's
I have
one,
one
there's
page.
one, but
Yeah.
we should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
one page
okay.
that was in there
Yeah.
had black on the outside. They're not, they're gonna be white.
Okay. So, oops, sorry.
And put stain in it.
Yeah.
Car.
Um. Oh. So it's every window in the house?
Yes,
Okay,
take that back. Every window, well, not the basement windows. There's two windows on
Okay.
the side.
Like in the brick?
Yeah.
right. Okay. Nope, I just
Yeah,
wanted.
these are good.
Okay. The stamp way.
Yeah.
And like universally, they're all the same, 6/6.
Yep,
Marvin, 4, okay. We're
Anderson or Marvin on that?
Anderson.
Anderson, sorry, Martin.
Okay.
Anderson. Mhm. Good catch, Tim, thank you.
No worries.
Um, I don't have any questions.
The two windows that the size is changing slightly, you'll just pat, is it cedar siding or?
It's, yeah.
Okay, you'll just patch in.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna patch that.
Yeah.
And I believe it's not even gonna impact the cedar, it's the casing on the inside.
Ah, okay.
The smaller window that's currently a, what is it, a 4/4? What is it?
Yeah, believe it.
You're going, yeah, you're changing that to a 6/6. That'll remain the same size as well?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All good?
Yep.
Well, we are coming along tonight. Keep them coming, fellas. All right, no questions from the commission, so you were
Good.
excellent. All right.
last week.
Thank you.
Anybody in the audience want to speak for the application? Anyone in the audience want to speak against the application? Okay, HDC 25-0049 51 Pearl Street is closed. Oh, flip the numbers around. HDC 25-0050 is 15 Pearl Street. Jeff Giles. And before Jeff makes his presentation, I'd like to seat Mr. Goodrich as a full member. All right, so
We have.
here we go. State your name.
Yeah, Jeff Gillies,
Gillies.
for, Densmore Oil on behalf of, St. Mark's Church, 15 Pearl Street. So the church has requested that we install mini splits into the sanctuary. So they currently have no air conditioning, so we are looking at putting in a total of 4, Mitsubishi mini splits. Only 3 would be visible, from, basically one of them is going in the very, very back and is unvisible from anything, realistically. We are looking at doing, the ones that are visible are all the same, model. They're 24,000 BTU single zone units. 2 of the units would be going on the flat roof, which is to the, if you are looking at the sanctuary building. Right, I have a lot of paperwork. So I tried to print it in color, so hopefully this will all work out smoothly. Right, so there is a flat roof on the.
So I'm gonna try to work with it.
Yeah.
I think you gotta
Go
rotate
90,
that
90,
the
other way.
Yeah, so
Jeff,
there are,
can you slide the microphone right, yeah, left or right of center?
like
And
that.
then, so yeah, it's like over the top of your picture right now,
Oh.
so if you can, yeah,
that?
as long as it can still be heard, there you go.
Okay, so this is a photo of the flat roof. So basically if you're looking at the sanctuary building, there is, where they go to the, daycare center and some of their office areas. There is this area where they already have some, vent fans, some commercial style equipment. So, what I'm proposing, and hopefully this photo will, I was trying to get, you would realistically be able to see, from the parking lot from the street. This red box here is, I'm trying to indicate where 2 of these units would be. So they would be cornered in the back area. And then, there is a wall that's about, 18 inches, 2 feet. So we should be able to run the refrigerant lines that are going horizontally low enough where to traverse from one of those units to then pop up and go straight up to where the indoor unit has to be for that. And the refrigerant lines feel like this photo is actually a little better. I got a little fancy with my iPad. But the red line, is indicating where that white line would be coming up to.
That's the vertical.
The vertical, yeah, because everything else I should be able to hide. It's just that vertical.
How big is that?
About 4 inches in diameter, and it's made out of.
I saw a spec on it.
Yeah, it's a company called the Nabadenko. They're Japanese. They make good line height coverings. And it would all be in bright white, so it should match the trim and some of the other areas of the windows. Obviously, it's a historic building, and splits are not historic, but I'm assuming that church gets very, very warm in the summer months for weddings and services, etc.
There's no way to run that.
There's not. The only way to do it would be to bash part the inside of the wall and then run it inside the wall. And for servicing purposes, it's really something that we try to avoid, because the places where you have mechanical issues with mini splits are usually in the refrigerant line runs. So if it's accessible, at least we set them up for service success later on down the road. Also, that is where the drain is going to be coming out. So we're terminating the drain basically exactly outside. And then the drain is going to run off the flat roof in the same way that it currently is for just regular, rain. The other side of the building, so if you're looking at the sanctuary, this would be on your right-hand side. There is where this red box is indicating. Right now, they've got a bush there. They're gonna, or a hydrant or whatever, they're gonna move that forward. We're gonna pour a concrete pad and put it on a metal stand there and then go directly up to that unit location. And that's what that red line is indicating. It's just the refrigerant line run directly up to it.
This is a bit more cost effective to build mini splits. Is that why they're choosing that over any other type of?
Yes, so in a building of that size, especially with underneath, so underneath the sanctuary is another meeting room.
Right.
So the only way to do that would be to take down their entire drop ceiling and put in ductwork. And then we would have to hide the air handlers into another room. It would be extremely costly, like crazily costly. So this is a more cost effective, and probably for the church and its sporadic uses, it's a really good way of doing it, because they should be able to, cool the space when it's needed, but not necessarily turn on a central air conditioning system, 2 days in advance, because there's so much air. It's such a voluminous area.
If you were to try to retrofit a ducted system in there, you likely would be creating headroom issues in those existing spaces as well.
Absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
and also drilling through the floor of that church, that doesn't excite me in any way. And it would be that meeting room down below, because I know I've been to when the town was talking about the resiliency projects, that's where a lot of the meetings were held. And, it would be, that drop ceiling, there's not a ton of room there already. And then to get the air handlers in places where they would need to be, because you need multiple air handlers for this size, you would be maxing out, 2, if not 3 residential sized air handlers, or going to a light commercial system. It would be a extremely costly project. So
if it were part of like a major renovation, it would be more feasible. But as a standalone project, the feasibility really does not exist at all.
So that location right there, that doesn't need to be 6 feet
Yeah,
the ground, because isn't that a flood? I mean,
So I did have some questions on that, because recently, last year, I proposed I received.
We first met you when you were proposing the,
We met it before that.
well,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know, I guess it
So-
was like you were
I-
putting a platform on the side of a
Putting a
house.
platform on the side of a house. It went
For-
great. So I got a phone call from that homeowner, actually probably a month ago at that particular location, which is a door down. And I have not verified this information, but he told me that now the flood zone planes had changed. And so all of that stuff that we did was no longer necessary, and he wanted me to move the unit down.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That never got off, that never got off the floor, so it's not done.
That's the problem.
I found that to be surprising, so
Yeah.
that is something that
Mm.
I am not positively.
Yeah.
I have no knowledge of that whatsoever. If anything, flood maps are going to expand. Yes. That's- Yeah. And my last knowledge of it is they were working on inland waterways and floodways. Inland, and they hadn't even done coastal yet. Coastal wasn't even going to be addressed for another couple of years.
Yeah. The so with the concrete pad, we can increase the thickness of that. And then it's gonna be on a 12-inch metal stand on top of that. So we should end up with some decent height to it, but if
What is
we-
the elevation of the building,
the elevation of the building,
the site?
you know, I don't have that piece of information offhand. That is something I would have to,
I'd be interesting to know.
yeah. Cause I know with, based on where, once again, probably have to get a surveyor in there
It's
to,
interesting to see gravel street get.
oh, for sure.
Yeah,
That's that street, you know.
but you're
flooding
not,
issues.
you're not far away.
No, certainly not. The, you know,
Wall Street's flooded enough to.
Yeah, Pearl Street
I'm
gets
curious
flooded by,
what the elevation would be.
yeah.
Leo's place.
I would think you'd want to research that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure. The, you know, that is certainly something that, you know, we can do. I'll have to have the church contact a surveying, you know, company to come out and get that accomplished.
I mean, what is the
Usually
rule?
in the permitting process, when we see that and it comes through in the flood zone,
Exactly.
we address it.
Yeah.
At that point, and that's exactly how we address it. We recommend that the installer or owner have a surveyor come out and mark out the base flood elevation so they can determine an installation process that would be compliant.
Yeah, I think based on this location, it's actually a lot easier for me to accomplish than at the other, at the other property. To get it up high enough as it needs to go. It's a shame the church was built so long ago. If that was concrete, I'd, you know, attach it somewhere on a wall mounted bracket there, but I can't attach to that stone and I really don't want to attach it to the building itself. So
Yeah.
the,
Remote.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, is that something we should put as a addendum that,
You might want to put it
The
under your
height.
consideration, a condition that if the elevation were to change more than whatever an amount you guys agree upon, that you'd come back for a follow-up review. We could address it as a minor item under old business.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be quick.
That's important.
Yeah, because I think obviously it's worth us just understanding and knowing if you, I'm just picking a silly number, you have to raise it up 7 feet from
Exactly.
that location.
Yeah. The, until they come out, it's hard to know exactly what that elevation is
understood.
going to be.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hey, I have a quick question for you. On this, the picture we're currently looking at, it's gonna be on a platform, you said. Is there gonna be any screening on that for all of the mechanical, the machineries, et cetera, and on the roof? Is there gonna be any, is there proposed any screening whatsoever? Like
So I
lattice
know-
work or?
So I know that screening is certainly, when I've proposed these projects before, screening has always been, you know, a major consideration. The ones that are on the roof, I think that putting a screen around them would actually aesthetically be more jarring to what it actually looks like now, because there is already that commercial equipment, you know, the vent fans, some of the other metallic pieces of material in the rear of that. To put up screening there, I think would actually draw more attention to them than there, especially with it being as high as what it is. I think with the units, they're gonna be kind of peaking above that stone facade that's there more than they will be, you know, really, like the whole unit is not going to be visible from that point. On this side, I wasn't exactly sure what the screening, you know, I did talk with the church about it. They're not opposed to any sort of screening. I know that you typically I'm gonna use
Lattice.
herbaceous life is not considered to be screening, right? So so them moving this plant forward, it doesn't really count. Now, that being said, when that moves forward, certainly a piece of lattice or something that would act as a screener is certainly something that we could,
Yeah.
we could do. I spoke with them about that. It's not an issue. This side over here, where you go around the corner, there is this tree, this other wall, this piece of, oh, sorry, I'm pointing at this stuff as I guess it's on the same freaking photo. But all of this stuff here is around the corner, so I wasn't exactly sure which. If I'm 50 yards down the street to the left, I'd be able to see it. If I'm staring at the building, I wouldn't. So I wasn't really sure where that would fall in the, in the considerations, so.
Okay, thank you.
I'm a big fan of screening.
Like screening.
So-
I'm not opposed to screening.
Alright, so,
I think you just, that is a set of stairs that goes down there too, so you gotta take into consideration the unloading area on that.
Mhm.
Has to be, it can't be encumbered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until we know how high the ceilings are going.
I,
right, that's,
good. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead then.
Well, one quick, one additional question, and Tim, maybe you can answer this for me. So we're seeing these red lines, and yes, I know they're gonna be painted white. Aesthetically, they're not beautiful in the least. Is there no other option other than putting interior ductwork and to create the same effect, to put in this HVAC? Is there no other option other than running exterior lines?
Is that question for me or for Tim?
Like Jeff was saying, like, I'll comment on it, Jeff, and you can follow up. To try to do it any other way than an exterior application is very invasive of the building. And in certain circumstances, maybe not even possible, the penetration would have to go in at a certain, if you were to try to go in through the granite foundation, that would be Herculean, trying to even bore a hole through that. And then you would be bastardizing the inside of the building all the way up on the inside. It would, again, if it ever had to be replaced, it becomes a big time maintenance issue because things would have to be taken apart. An exterior application in line height is a pretty standard installation. I know in previous applications, and I don't know if it's possible here, but in previous applications, they've drawn the line height over and kind of blended it in with the corner boards, so it's not so obvious. I don't know if that's a possibility here, but I figured it was worth mentioning.
So.
Yeah, would that be possible to do?
So the issue that I would see with going to the corner boards would be, so if we're talking about, this white trim here and then coming over to where this indoor location would be. Typically what I find, and this is more a matter of personal opinion, but the longer a horizontal run, the more obvious it becomes, just because the vertical lines are still fairly similar and fairly common. But you have to, basically on the back of these units, you have a drain and you've got your two refrigerant line connections that act as basically a tail. So that is what is going through the exterior of the building. So it's a gravity drain. So if I want to move that thing over, I'm going to have to make a 45-degree angle or angle it in some way to maintain pitch so that that drain is going to be able to go properly. So usually we, in terms of us, we try to go directly vertical, for just best practice.
What is the structure on the building?
This,
Heavy timber?
oh yeah, and the thing that, like, if I were to try to do an interior wall, destroying the wall of the church just gives me.
I think
the
it
heebie-jeebies.
actually might be better if it's painted out to be etching the siding rather than.
And that the line hide comes in a bright white color and it's 100% paintable.
I
So
think it might disappear more if it was painted. with
the color of the,
Okay, I'm friends with it. I agree with Tim that I think it's even painted more aesthetically pleasing. It's a central church where you're offering public parking, so it's what a lot of people in the town are gonna see. And I don't want to compare things. You've got other churches in Municipal that aren't in the historic district that have potentially sin. They've eaten that cost, and I think saying cost is a slippery slope. So at what point does a homeowner say cost? That to me, that's not the only reason to do it. And I mean, how many days you're using AC? 20? I don't like the project personally. That's my opinion. Those are my concerns. we gotta find a different option. That's my position.
Do you have a plot view of the property?
Especially around how high the fences are going, yeah.
Can I ask on this photo right here, could you penetrate just above the stone and then then the line is on the inside of the wall to the unit or
To
no?
do that, you would have to,
Take out the clapboard.
you would have to, open up the inside of the wall.
Yeah,
To do that, and that's generally, and then you have to reseal the wall, so then you have everything is buried at that point, so if there is ever an issue, God forbid a mouse chews a
Right.
wire, or.
what about running the line, like the copper, literally
On
on
the
the
wall.
inside of the finished wall? And then up to the interior
So-
head unit?
I think aesthetically on the inside of the church, that would be
Yeah,
pretty terrible.
Yeah.
And I think the people that are
That's,
inside,
that's the one I want.
sorry about that. The,
All the connections would be on the back of the interior
Yeah, I don't
unit
think
as well. So
Yeah.
you would really have to come up and do some kind of maneuvering to get, make the connections.
So show me,
See in there. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but those walls have been open before. This would not be the first time.
I guess,
yeah, so the two X's here are indicative of the two,
On the
the two units that would be
flat
on
roof.
the flat roof. And then this X on the left is the unit that would be, if you're facing the church, or technically be on the right.
so is that the unit we were just
That's the unit we
talking?
were just talking.
So it's really not,
Not in the primary.
it's not by it's not by the parking lot. It's
No,
like,
it's on the Denoto side of the, of.
Yeah, it's on the
it's
side
on
of,
the north side.
Yeah, it would be north. Yeah.
Okay.
Neither one.
Primary, yeah, I'm not. I mean, if it was
it's
to
not,
John,
not
to
where
John,
the mortuary.
The double XX, that's the flat roof.
yeah.
That was really unclear when I was trying to. read.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it
And-
was, when I pulled up the site map, I was like, how, because they just.
Double
it's-
X.
Yeah, it's, it's big, yeah, right, basically there, because you've got the walkway on up. It actually, it's probably, my X's are probably not in the greatest of locations, probably a little
I guess
further over to
not.
the right. Technically, but the, yeah, because you've got that front entrance there is where you get right up to the flat roof.
I think they're not on primary.
Yeah,
outside.
yeah. If they were,
Except that-
if they were over by the 8460, that would be a totally different situation.
Wait, what was concluded on the Spicer House where they put those in? Were they painted or would they ask them to relocate them? Do you guys recall? Remember they put them in, they came in and permitted them retroactively because the prior owners put them in without permit.
Without permit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
don't,
remember if it was painted, if they asked them to paint it? Cause I remember they had some
They-
horizontals
that's
too.
something,
yeah.
Yeah, fully painted, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with your comment about if you can make them blue or whatever
Paint the match the,
Yeah,
The-
it's,
yeah.
camouflage is like a chameleon, you know,
there's another white line go out.
Yeah.
Right, that is good.
yeah, the, certainly the material that's used for the line height is fully paintable. Many customers do it, so that wouldn't be an issue.
I will say, getting back to the other side though, I mean, when you have a funeral at the Nodos, and I've been to many of them there, you're gonna have a couple hundred people coming down that driveway, so to say it's not primary. And you just splitting hairs, you have a lot of people are gonna see that.
I mean, there's, at Denoto's, they're a customer of mine as well, love them. There's a central unit basically facing exactly where I'm talking about, so I don't think that that's really like, I mean, it, from here to there, there's a central unit on the ground, right there, which is an old beast, but.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
Spicer.
yeah. Yeah, they didn't paint it on
They
Spider.
never painted them?
Yeah.
Is
Wow.
that recent?
This is 2025.
Yeah, so it was supposed to. I think.
Yeah.
If I remember, I knew I don't know where the discussion culminated, but I knew they had talked about they were painting them or. Cause
It's Captain's Mansion now by the Golden Pulse Spice.
Yeah,
It's the thing that shut us.
Any other comments from the,
It's the pearl, it's not Pizzetta.
that's right. It's always Pizzetta. Timothy K, do you have any,
No, I don't. Um,
uh, you guys?
I'm good for now.
Okay. All right. Thank you for
Thank you,
that.
guys.
I gotta say that presentation, going back to that platform one was, it's like one of those, when I write my book on my experience on HDC, it's in the book.
Didn't they ultimately put it around the back of the house? I thought they put it.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ended up putting it on the back of the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they want to move it down.
Down. I think there's some mapping,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have them contact us if they want a discussion regarding that.
All right, does anybody in the audience want to speak for this application? Anybody in the audience want to speak against this application? All right, HDC 25-0050 is closed. Did anyone, I know there's no,
Doesn't look like anybody's online. You got Tim.
oh, here it is, right here. So no one from 49 Pearl Street is in the audience?
Groton. Not Groton, somebody else.
Just Tim and,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
yeah. All right, at this point, I'll make, all right, I'm gonna close public hearings at this point and move on to consideration. So we'll start with HDC 25-0046, which is 292 High Street, the shed. Do any of the commissioners have any motions?
Moriarty makes a motion to approve.
Kohler seconds.
All right, any discussion, any thoughts, questions, concerns? All right, we'll go to vote.
Since I missed the presentation, the Richard's name.
That's why.
Ferguson, aye.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, HDC 25-0046 is approved. I'd like to make a motion to continue HDC 25-0048 since they never showed up.
Moriarty, second.
All right, go to vote.
Just die.
Ferguson, aye.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, and we'll go to HDC 25-0049, which is 51 Pearl Street, which is the windows. And any,
Moriarty makes a motion to approve.
Ferguson will second. Any discussion on this? It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward.
It's got all specs on the windows.
No issues.
Presentation, I'm staying.
Yeah.
Just die.
Ferguson, aye.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right. HDC 25-0049 is approved. And then we'll go to HDC 25-0050, which is the St. Mark's Church presentation we just heard. Any motions?
All right, just to get the conversation started. Moriarty makes a motion to approve with the stipulation that the line sets are painted to match the color of the church.
As well as the,
And the height.
if the height is
And-
above
Yeah.
fourth.
I think if that lower, the ground unit needs to be raised, I'd like them to come back.
Yeah. So what's a height that, if it's only gonna be raised,
Well,
what's a good height to like make them come back over?
I would say above what was presented. Concrete pad, a 12 or 14-inch stand, and then the unit on top.
Okay.
If that's not acceptable, any change to that, I think I'd want to see what the.
Okay, that's fair.
What's the standard crib height on those?
So that would be, so on the concrete pad would be, 4 inches, and then the crib height would be 12 inches.
Only 12, okay.
So that's-
16.
Get as high as 18.
Yeah.
You know, but beyond that, we'd be, putting together some sort of small, then once again, depending on
Structure.
height,
The reason I just asked is because you said, 12 or something,
Or- yeah.
12 or whatever.
Yeah.
So
And in your condition, you should probably say
Stay.
not to exceed 12 inches.
Okay.
So the question, then, basically ridiculous thing, I want to say it's like, flood zone, so it's gotta be 7 feet, what would your condition be then? Just
They
out
would
of
co-
fairness to the applicant.
No, and his condition is that anything over the 16 inches of
Over-
the concrete and the 12 inches, he's got to come back.
Okay,
That's the
and if it's
condition.
some ridiculous height, we'll do it then.
We'd revisit as a commission.
say this
Okay.
in front of me.
All right, so Moriarty makes a motion to approve stipulations that the line sets are painted to match the color of the church. And the ground unit will not exceed the concrete pad of 4 inches plus the 12-inch stand, so 16 inches.
So 12 inches both sides.
Yeah, 16 inches. That's the motion.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, then we'll go to a vote.
It's based on concerns that I've already said on the record, I'm gonna vote nay.
Ernest, I.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
I wish there was another option, to be honest, with these line sets. I think it's kind of setting precedent. However, I understand the economic issues with this, and I understand that church is extremely hot. So saying that I am an I.
Is it an I? Is that a
It is-
yes?
yes.
Okay, okay. I don't know why I heard not. I
I
heard
did-
I
I
heard
waited-
not. I heard nigh.
No, definitely an I, definitely. An I.
I
Yeah.
was like,
A little nay, a little yay.
Exactly. I'm on the fence on this one. All
half
right.
yay, half nay. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, guys.
All good. No, all good. I just wanted to make clarity for the record. Oh my God, that's awesome. All right, so HDC 25-0050, 15 Pearl Street is approved. All right. With that, we'll close the consideration of public hearings and we'll open it up to pre-application review. Are you here for a pre-application review, sir? Oh, okay. So are you coming to talk to the commission about a possible project in the future?
Yep.
Then this is
Come on
your
up.
time. So because it's your first time, the process is you're going to state your name, the address, what the project is, and kind of as many details as you can provide at this point, and then the commission will give you feedback as to what we're looking for. Okay. So.
My name's Tim Burke, and I'm dealing with, property at 219 Candlewood Road. And this is the property, 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago.
You bought the place?
I did.
I'm very happy. That's an amazing home. I know it well.
You do?
Yeah.
And, actually, is Mr. Streeter, is he part of your?
No.
No.
The house is really basically unchanged. And you can see on this side that there is an old car, but there's a barn behind it.
If you hold it,
He
Yeah,
can't see it
keep
unless you
it
lay
on
it
the
out.
on
table.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you
so
go.
that way Tim can,
See it,
yeah.
the trees, car.
The trees are no longer there.
So what year is this house?
1773.
Wow.
Possibly a little earlier.
our records say 1700, I think maybe 1760s, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
we'll talk after the meeting, man. I love your house. I'm a huge fan of it.
And so, this is at the house that's exactly like that today, no changes, except the barn is gone. And, there's a driveway between the house and the barn. Existing driveway. And, what I want to do is to ask, your permission to build a two-car garage where the barn was, in that location. And it's still off the Campbellwood Road.
So why don't you start with that diagram, put that picture, yep, on top of that picture. All right,
Okay, and the property is here, and this is the house,
mhm.
and this is the existing driveway. And this is the location of the new garage. My property goes down to here, so there's no question about setbacks
Yeah,
and around it at all. And let's see what else. Yes, that's about it. The other issue is that what I'd like to do is just civil garage. There is a garage now underneath the what used to be the old school. And that has a white vinyl garage door. So what I do is want to basically match this to the house. The two doors and the color of the garage would be exactly the same as the house and the shingles as well. So everything would match. This is a. Can I turn it this way? Would that work?
yep.
Okay. This is a sketch of the garage. So Candlewood Road is over here. And this is the existing driveway here. And it's a 20 by 20 simple garage. On the side, I'd like to build a small shed for store riding a lawnmower during the winter time. And this would not be visible from the street in any way. So this just has these two doors. Nothing else, no windows, no doors. And this one has a door and a window. But as I say, not visible from the street. And the other issue is that I went to the ledge light and asked for a permit from them. And they pulled their records of the leaching fields, which are on the other side of the house. And they said that would not be a problem. And we're going to sign off that this week. And that's basically it.
And the siding of the
Would be a clapboard to match the
house, is it wood clapboard or?
The house is, and the new garage would be a vinyl too that looks exactly like
Okay.
that, so they say. And the color would be exactly to match the house.
You keeping the house gray or you changing the color?
Say it again?
You gonna keep the house gray or change the
No,
color?
keep it. It looks like it was white in the original picture.
Probably back then it was, yeah. So it's your house actually, every colonial house had George Washington sleep in it. Yours in
Mhm.
fact did, according to the Daughters of the American Revolution, so a little bit of trivia for your place.
They just moved the monument.
Yep, we just
Yeah.
approved it,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great, so you can see
Yeah.
it, where it was, but Jim Hortons, you couldn't see it at all. Nobody saw it even coming down my North Road. But one of the neighbors told me that where the pump station is, in Groton Utilities, that used to be a place that they thought George Washington did indeed stay there.
Right, that was when that was a tavern, a school for celestial navigations, it seems you already know. And they printed a almanac there too.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
I know, sorry.
No, glad you know about it.
I think the pitch of the roof is important.
The fellow said that it would be a 6-pitch.
Yeah, I think I don't know what the pitch is, there's a pitch in the house.
How much that?
Surprised. It's more like almost closer to 10, 12 or 12, 12. So and then the siding, you mentioned vinyl.
Yeah, is there any?
It's a vinyl that I suppose looks exactly like wood.
I think that's maybe the issue.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a huge issue for
Yeah.
me. The vinyl.
But I think the pitch, the roof.
It's supposed to be much less expensive than the actual.
I think on your house is probably more a 10, 12 or 12, 12.
I showed the builder the photographs of the house and here from here as well. And he originally thought 4, but he said, no, that's a 6. So
I think that's,
I'm
I
not-
don't think that's true. I think it's probably closer to 12-12 or 10-12.
whatever,
think
he
the
was going
pitch-
to match the house.
I think the pitch roof should match the house.
Yeah, and he said he was going to do that.
And I also think it needs to be a non-vinyl product. That's actually not even allowed in our handbook.
I'm sorry, what?
Siding
Vinyl,
can't be vinyl.
no vinyl for the siding.
Why?
It's
Our
not,
regulations.
not historic.
Well, the garage door already is.
That's
We're approving something new.
exactly, that was approved by a different commission than us.
Or maybe not even approved, we don't know.
And the garage door is very important to the character, because some people need to see that door.
Yeah. Do you, is the picture in the, on that, previous page of the, is that the only style?
This is just a sample of what the style would look like. I wanted something very simple, so no windows, no doors, and just to keep it as simple as possible.
Mm.
The roof, just back to that, I think it looks more like a 6-12, and I think it probably needs to be at least a 10-12. I would want to verify what's on your existing roof. And then
And you're talking about the pitch?
Yeah. Yeah. And
So you would recommend when he comes back for his formal application that he clarifies the house that he has determined what the house pitch is
Yeah.
and the proposed garage
Correct.
is going to match.
And I'm assuming door-wise, you want more of a historic door than
I
a,
would like that.
yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
You would like it, what?
a historic door, not a vinyl or aluminum door.
Well, I wanted to match exactly what is there in the house already. Which is white vinyl next door to the top of the head.
But my issue, I would just speak for myself personally, you have as you can tell by my fascination, amazing historic home. You're putting a prominent structure on the property, and I think it needs to speak to the historicness of the home and not match a bad door somebody put on.
Not match what?
A bad door somebody put on that we probably never approved. I'd have to look, but I don't see any of the past commissions approving that garage door. I'm guessing, I don't know that for a fact, but I just, you know, the picture you present shows the house historically, and I think a garage has to respect the history of your home.
Well, actually, it would be no door historically, it was an open barn. And so there was no door to match.
Right, but in the present structure, you're putting a door and we want it to look from historic times as much as possible.
1773.
Right, right. No garages in 1773.
Well, it's unlikely that he'll find a door that can match the door that came off the barn. But there's a possibility that you might be able to find something that has some colonial historic character to it. Features such as like the presence of like a panel, a raised panel type thing or something, as opposed to just your standard aluminum garage door. Perhaps they can put some strap hinges on it. I know there's features that they can put some strap hinges on it. They can put glass in it or something that would give it a little bit more of a colonial look that may complement the historic nature of the house rather than give it a real 2025
Modern.
garage built look.
Yeah.
For my opinion, the panels doesn't seem to match the house at all. Much later designs would have include panels.
Well, if you talk to the garage door company, I would ask them about, hey,
what are the choices?
what are my choices to match a 1700 house?
Yeah. I know they have features they can add features on plain garage doors that would give it like a Z back or something that may align with the character of the historic home. So I would recommend, I
Would you
would,
suggest any particular companies to
So
talk to?
at our last meeting, we approved Clopay carriage house style
Yeah,
fiberglass
right,
doors
yeah.
for 2 Eldridge Street. So Clopay,
Where
CLO,
they are?
I don't know
where
where
Flowpay distributes out of, but you can talk to
Okay.
Overhead Door Company in Preston.
Yeah.
They have a wide variety
Yeah.
of doors with all kinds of different
I
characters.
think this aesthetic is pretty simple. So
Right.
it's very straightforward. So
Yeah.
I don't think it wants to be ornamented. But it's-
Yeah, I'm not looking for a Z back.
Yeah,
or
right.
just
Right.
Big straps or anything.
We're all on the same page that we want simple, but at the same time historical in some nature.
This period of house did not have dormers. Very, very simple. We don't want to get into, I'm not saying get into an ornament, but I think it needs to be authentic.
From that later period.
Exactly. We built a garage door, a garage house. It was all very simple. We got approved.
What company did you go to?
Our garage was built by Overhead, not Country Carpenters. And Overhead Door did our garage door. which is also-
That would come to-
They're very well versed
Yeah.
in all styles of doors like that.
So
If you went to, if you explained to them your conversation with the commission and the goal you're trying to reach, I'm sure they can make some suitable recommendations for you.
When we researched the cost of garages when we built ours, ours is heavy timber and was the same as 2x6s. It really wasn't any different at all. So you might shop around for garage doors and garages themselves. You're not too far down the road here.
I did consider that Cloder Farms about the.
Yeah, we looked at
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
We looked at those. They were just as expensive and less authentic, I would say. Just the editorial.
As long as I brought it up, do you know about the foundation that, they tell me they just build on gravel and bring in the plywood, and the whole structure. sits on gravel.
Any structure that's a dwelling unit or exceeds 600 square feet has to be on a frost protected foundation.
Okay,
It was
well,
just
it's
4 feet down.
You're 400 feet, it doesn't have, 400 square feet, you were 20 by 20
You're 21.
with another 80 feet or something, 10 by 80 was
10
it?
by 6.
10 by 6, yeah, so another 60 feet. So you're well under the 600 square feet. So it doesn't have to be on a frost protected structure, it can be on a slab.
Thank you.
Yep.
We did some costs. We've been to 3 or 4. We went to Plural as one of them. So I'm not selling anybody, but I think we want something that really fits with the house you
Yeah,
have.
they just had a long backlog and that
Oh,
was.
yeah.
For the siding material, the applicants have had success in the past. Pine, pressure treated, or not pressure treated, pine, cedar, hardy cement, fly ash, like
Which they-
true exterior. Hardy,
Is it
hardy,
cement board?
yeah, hardy, fiber cement siding. Yeah, it looks, it has the appearance of clapboard
Yeah, it doesn't.
or
doesn't-
cedar shakes, but vinyl has not.
Vinyl.
been
Yeah. So,
successful.
yeah. So I guess hopefully you're hearing, talk to Overhead Door or a like company and explain to them the historic nature of your home so that they can give you a garage door that matches the historic nature of your home. And look at alternatives to vinyl for the siding of your garage so that it's something,
But
you
this,
know.
cement option that you mentioned,
Mhm.
it's something that looks like,
Looks like clapboard.
looks
yeah.
like clapboard.
that's what I.
Yeah,
noticed.
yeah, yeah.
The book is exactly.
Right.
that.
Yep. And then finally, I don't know if you need an architect or a surveyor or what to make sure that the pitch of the roof matches the pitch of the house. And because the garage person, this is just my opinion, might just already have a 6-pitch garage and, he could quickly.
And that
and
just
that-
looks more suburban.
Right.
It just does.
And so I mean, just make sure that they match.
That's the house pitch.
Okay,
But
all right, that's,
I think it's 10, 12. That's be my guess.
And he's an architect.
and he's an architect.
It's
So,
not 12, 12, I don't think, but it's at least 10, 12.
so,
But you live in a garage now?
No, we built the garage about 4 years ago and Country Carpenters, and we went to Cloder, we researched it and did 3 different places, and we ended up with those guys, Country Carpenters, heavy timber, and it wasn't any more than a 2x6 structure. And they're well versed in kind of historical look, and they're up in Hebron, I think is where they are.
And what's the name of the group?
Country Carpenters.
Country Carpenters.
And in Hebron. And we had to do the foundation, we have some topography to deal with.
Even his little.
Yeah. And we have vertical wood siding as opposed to the, so I think the garage can be different
Mhm.
than the house.
Yep.
But it needs to be, it's authentic wood, structure, I think.
I thought it would be better if it matched. So
It doesn't have to. I think there's some choices there.
It's personal preference.
won't paint it orange, so.
Yeah, so the barns generally didn't match the houses back then.
These barns were even painted back then.
We had a barn on our site, we could see from historical photographs, same as yours was there.
And your house is in Groton or?
We're in Mystic, 51 High Street, we're on High Street. We have broad Jambi around us. We have parking.
do you have any?
No, I'm just glad you picked the place up. It needed a good owner. It sat empty for a long time.
It did,
Yeah.
Timothy K, do you have any?
I don't, looks great.
Uh,
I have the same concerns as you guys do, and yeah, I think this is, hopefully we can get this all on the same page. I think it's gonna be amazing.
So your options are twofold. You could take get the application in after you've answered those 3 questions.
is there a
We,
physical application that?
it's online, but
Yes.
I think there's a paper one if,
No, there's no
no,
paper.
no paper.
It's all online.
It's online, but you can come to the office and they'll help you right here. Right. So if you want to go forth with the application after hearing everything that's been shared, great. Or if you want to get all of those questions that we talked about tonight answered and come again, that's great too. It's up to you.
That seems the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that would save you a headache down the road personally, but it's up to you. So,
If I could just say from a staff
Oh.
standpoint, it's great to see you accept the feedback from the commission and want to work with you. So we appreciate it.
yeah, no, we're excited for this to,
Thank you. And I'm glad you said, you agree with making it simpler. Is that helpful? Anything else on that application that I should know about?
Do you want to explain?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's just the applications you're gonna state the project, state your materials, detailed list of materials. And, just, the measurements and things of that sort. So it's pretty,
The more detailed your support documents are, the more information can be presented to them. They get a better understanding of what you're proposing. And I won't say more likely
yeah.
to approve, but more likely to have an understanding that would lead to an approval.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And Bill's a stickler for your list of materials.
Materials, yeah. I'm a materials guy.
Be the first question he's gonna ask you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that this cement business is something to look like wood, so.
Yeah.
We see it a lot.
So you are
Yes.
open to that.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah, in the historic district, it's a lot of people are going to it
Yeah.
for maintenance purposes, for
It's fire resistant.
fire resistance. It's
Came to this country after the Berkeley fires. It's when it was Australian, and it came to this country after the fires. Because all houses were burning down in Berkeley.
maintenance purposes, like they put the paint on it, and it's because it's not moisture absorbent material. The paint lasts
Right.
long time on it, yeah. So it's got a lot of great features.
That's good.
Now the contractors love it though.
It's tough to work with.
Yes, that's.
It can be tough to work with. You gotta be careful who you hire, that whoever you hire to do it really needs to be versed in it.
They
It's
have to know.
difficult to cut, it's difficult to handle. It's kind of fragile, so in most cases, when you're handling pieces of it, it's a two-man operation or it can be a one-man operation, providing the person who's handling it has extensive experience in
You have to
handling it.
find somebody who loves it.
Yeah,
And how is that different than the vinyl that's supposed to look exactly like wood? Is it related or?
The problem with vinyl is it doesn't look like wood.
Doesn't,
And
no.
it has, and it moves with temperature. And the way it's put together on the detail on the corners is, you can tell it's vinyl.
and the hardy plank actually goes on just like a clapboard would. Course after course after course, as opposed to a vinyl that's gonna go on at 2 or 3 courses per panel.
What did you call it?
The hardy plank,
Hardy
yeah,
plank.
yeah,
That's the name of the company.
yeah, it's James Hardy Company is the company that produces it.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Right, anything else that we should be speaking about?
No, I was gonna say, do you have any further questions?
No, just trying to do something as simple as possible.
Yeah.
so.
I think you have your homework assignments and just come back either with an application or again with more details that you find out. It's up to you.
Okay,
That sounds great.
and could I ask you, is Mr. Streeter, is he still living? Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was the town historian for many, many years.
Okay, sounds good.
It's a lot of that information that Jim may not know, though. Just because township, I don't know how well versed is in that house. I talked to him about it at one point. I don't even,
I'm sorry, say it
I
again.
don't think he was aware of that house. I discussed it with him at one point
Really?
years ago.
He's not aware?
Not the significance. So a lot of that information is available. I can share where to find it.
He published in the Groton Times stories about the almanac,
Yep.
so I knew we knew about that. And he's saying it was, written in-house, but he didn't mention the house very much.
Actually, the family just about 2 years ago sold a huge family collection of the almanacs, letters that went back, everything.
Well, evidently there were a lot in the house, and not the previous owner, but the longtime owner before that, Mrs. Schweigel.
And had the floors pulled up and straightened, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
But she's the one who had a lot of these almanacs in the house, and I understand they were donated to the historical collection at the library.
Could have been.
They are now.
The family descendants were in Waterford. They moved to Florida and they sold. I mean, it was probably would take a band, everything, almanacs, letters going back to them, stuff from the school, yeah.
Wow. What was the name of the family?
The Bilbles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you my information. We'll talk later on. I'll keep these guys here till then. Actually, give me a pen real quick. I'll give you my name and number. You can call me. We'll talk about it more.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, like I said, I'm bored. These guys would be here till 2 a.m. They kill me.
All right, so with that, the pre-application review is closed and we'll jump to public communications. Does anybody here have any?
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Is that I question?
Oh,
The surname of this Timothy came from.
Kohler
Kohler.
with a K.
Oh, okay.
Related.
The okay, okay, that's her contact information, there's the QR code on the back for accessing the.
Yeah, she said she'd answer any questions.
So get you right through anything needs to be done.
Thank you, nice to
Okay.
know you.
Nice to
Yeah,
coming
thank
in.
you. Have a good night. All right,
Any public communication?
any public communication?
I have none outside of the video I forwarded to you guys, this past week, did you get that?
Yep.
About the, Randall House in North Stonington?
Oh, that, yeah.
That's the only thing I have,
Read your email too, man. You hit the nail on the head about how cool it is.
That was, I go into a lot of houses and I could, most of the time I could care less. I went into there, I was like, wow, that was really something.
So was that Randall's Ordinary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That used to be a restaurant when I
Yeah.
was in college.
Yeah.
We used to go there.
It's pretty stripped down on the inside now,
Oh, is it?
I didn't see this.
but the major structure is still.
You sent it.
I don't-
1680, the
I
house
don't
is
think I got the
1680.
email.
I don't think I got it.
Yeah.
either.
I went, whoa, because you might not be on the Historic District Commission members list yet.
What do I
Make
do there?
sure,
What-
I'll talk
how
to
do
Sue
I get
about
to
getting.
that?
You gotta have it above secretary.
That's fine today.
I pulled the dealership down 5 minutes early because I saw his email, like, right
I'm not a member yet.
Slightly above the posted speed limit.
Yeah, so I don't have anything as far as public communications outside of that.
Okay, you're our new minutes reader.
Yeah, I have one minor comment on the minutes. It was in new business where I brought up the traffic speeding.
Yeah.
And so the minutes just says, discuss their oversight of traffic signs. I just want to tweak it. It was specifically that radar detection sign that's solar powered and flashes the speed.
Okay,
So that was it.
all right.
And again, I'm fine with it. I'm supportive of it. I just,
The police are gonna read this.
yeah, I know. Yeah. I wish they would.
This one is
I
making like
know.
flying up that.
I know. They go too quickly.
Conversations.
All right, so
Yeah,
Susan, I'm sure you heard that.
Yep.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the June 17th minutes.
Kohler seconds.
Take a vote.
I wasn't there, so I'm gonna abstain.
Turnstile.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, any old business?
Sign something.
There's,
You guys may have brought it up already. Is the gentleman from Ashby coming to see us? I know you reached out, we decided to talk to him and I haven't heard anything since.
I have not had communications with him. It's still on my list. I just have his number on a sticky note on my computer. Just have not gotten to it.
there's,
So old
There's
business.
something listed as old business, yeah.
Megan Granado.
Oh,
What
so
this-
you're in the packet.
yeah.
When you guys approved the heat sensor, you
Oh,
just
yeah.
asked for an update of the location that it was installed. And that's a picture of the pole that's going on right out in front of Boost Bowls.
Okay.
It was approved by Public Works. It's been approved by everybody. So that's
I'll
that.
keep an eye out for it.
Yeah. It's gonna be life changing.
Is it the tiny little square about 3/4 of the
I
way?
don't think it's, in that picture, I don't think it's installed yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's the
gonna be
pole
huge.
that it's
It's gonna
going
be
on. So
huge.
it's-
Assuming it's gonna be around.
I think that the dimensions of the thing was like 5 by 7.
Yeah. All right, okay, any new business from anyone? Tim, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just going on the assumption you'll speak up if you
I
have
will.
something.
I will,
Okay.
thank. Yep, nothing from me.
Okay. All right. No new business, then we'll move to adjourn. All right, thank you.
Hey, thanks, everybody.
Make you feel
Thanks.
better or
can
have
be-
your family feel better or?
Yeah, it's George and I'm kind of feeling under the weather, so hopefully it's nothing. I got a busy week.
All right,
We
Well-
all do, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
rest up and enjoy the 4th of July.
Hey, you guys too, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for showing up despite your ailment.
Hey, you're welcome. Bye,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Right.
Funny.
You and Tim might enjoy this. So this was when we were